Greetings, community. It's Kevin from 1-2 Comic Talk. It's good to be here. Happy Friday. It's cocktails and comics. Hope you guys are doing well. I know I'm doing, all considered, all pretty good. It's been an interesting week, to say the least, I have to admit. I got to go around a couple of shops, got to go check them out. Got to survey a couple places that were in the midst of cleanup. Got to go to the first signing event that I had noticed that after the, I guess let's call it lightning of our stringent situation, considering that we have to be social distancing. First signing event that I had attended just to assist in some of the things that were going on. It was rather interesting to see what was going on around the city as far as the community was concerned, and coming together to clean up all around town that I had noticed, and it was rather interesting. Say, Cap, how you doing? There he is. Say, a couple cocks. How you doing, man? So, actually, I threw out only a few invites tonight. I was just kind of being mellow. I was thinking about being, because I have a what kind? I have an interview as normal on the Saturdays. And last week, I'm still a little burned out. This week was my first week, as I mentioned, to go around town and survey the area and see how things were doing as far as, like I said, the shops, and put out a couple of GoFundMe pages for the shops that needed it. I know that Golden Apple had actually only after, I think, only 3 days, maybe 4, had removed their GoFund page because of how well they done. So I applaud you, the community out there, that had made their contributions to them to assist them in their repairs after what had transpired. I had noticed that a few things had dropped, and on our channel, we don't normally actually talk spec. At the same point, I do like to talk things of interest, So one of the things I will say that I thought was of interest is I ended up, having this book, and I do know that I know there's a 93 and there's only part 1 of 2, but I do also know that it's launching as a 5-part series. So this Future Imperfect, it's not Amadeus, is it? Right? No, it's what is this guy's name? Oh, I just had it too. Yo, Gray Man, how you doing? Appreciate you being here. Anyways, it's my brain's going away, but basically from the Future Imperfect, and I know it's not Amadeus Hulk, it's another one. But there's a 5-part miniseries that should be launching in 2 months, at the end of July, at the beginning of August, and possibly at the end. As far as depending on how things are being, how should I say, shipped. Everyone knows that. Another thing I'm just going to touch on, not get into. It is official. I made mention of this about a month ago. As far as the distribution through Diamond, that's being eliminated through DC, is essentially going to be done in an umbrella style fashion under Midtown / DCBS, and then on the West Coast it would be called a different name. All that be considered. Again, it's just more dynamics of what's actually going on. Maestro, that's the name of it. Maestro Hulk. So it's going to be a 5-part series coming out pretty soon. I think it's going to be of interest. If you're a Hulk fan, it's something that's to be looking out for. I do know that there are certain, not all of Diamond pre-orders are available at this point. I do know that some of the pre-orders are not available, but at the same point, things like Broken Gargoyle had just been added. I know that's an independent some of you may not be familiar with. That is actually the writer who will be on tomorrow that we'll be interviewing from Source Point Press. But the reason why I bring that up is, again, they are now starting to accept some of the pre-orders through Diamond. So it's going to be a split type of distribution through Diamond and Midtown / DCBS / this other on the West. And Places like Source Point. I think Omni's doing it too. Possibly Aftershock. And I'm trying to remember the other one that I've been playing with as far as some of the publishing companies, but they decided to go directly themselves. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this transpires, because it used to be underneath one in the, all diamond essentially. And I think there's going to be some growing pains. There's definitely going to be some transitional periods that's going to have to be ironed out, per se. So, hey, everyone out there, cheers. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to make it early tonight. Last week, we had a lot of people on here. We got hammered. I was on way too long. I woke up a little too groggy. I had a great interview. But if you watched last week, we had 3 shows. That got a little hectic after being a little. I'm not saying I was hungover. I'm not saying I was totally there either. After by the 3rd show, I was pretty burned out. I have to admit, it was a lot because of all the. I guess I don't want to say, because nothing's essentially scripted, and there's a small essential structure to what's going on, but all 3 shows were so different from one another. By the 3rd show, I only had a rough idea what the hell I was doing. It was a blur. Hey, Unstoppable, how you doing, man? Hey, I appreciate everyone being here. Hope everyone's having a good night. Happy Friday. Now, the other book I want to make mention of is something I doubt most of you have actually seen, and it's specified. Let's go ahead and take this out of the bag. I'm trying to get information more on this, but what I do know is you may start seeing this logo. Now, this logo is Alternation. Now, Alternation is, they're going about their stuff pretty smart. It's essentially the underlining name for the whole marketing idea. And hey, you doing? Yeah, I threw a couple back there. Yeah, well, the reason why is this. The guy actually is a local dude here, and I'm going to try to get in touch with him pretty soon. What I like first is this, and I'm not even a toy dude, but I like how he's marketing his stuff in the sense of, first, he developed his toys, and he developed his characters. I have got yet to talk to this guy, so I'm curious. But it looks to me, he developed his toys and his characters in a sense in the story. So I would assume he developed this idea of a story, developed these characters, and along with it, much like now, I'm going to plug someone else, Derek Hunter, where probably has a love for toys, and then probably took it from his just hobby aspect all the way up into this marketing part. I'm sure his love for comic books and everything is there, and I would imagine he has a strong love for toys, and that's why he just did this hybrid of a marketing idea. I'm dying to talk to this guy. He did tool together the right people. What I mean by that is he got a great writer. The pencils and inks, he decided to streamline and have one person. And I understand it takes a lot to actually develop, and the cost wise, these type of not only items but just concepts, and then putting it all together. So you end up just having one person do both the pencils and the inks, and then the colors were shared project. But you can also see why, because there's vast differences in some of the projects. So I'm curious to see on if someone was like, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, or I'll just do backgrounds. So as opposed to totally teasing you, let me go ahead and give you a little bit of some of the pages. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this is my understanding, and I'm, like I said, I'm trying to get verification of this, is they're being solicited by a serious publishing company. And that's actually rather impressive for a group of people whose book right now I'm holding is free. and the amount of books that I had saw is expensive. The type of product that I saw as far as the toys that were inside of the shop that I was at were not cheap, meaning they didn't cost. I didn't even look at the cost factor. The quality aspect looked good, and it was wow, it was just something I was impressed with. Again, I'm not a toy dude. I'm a comic guy, but this is cool. I can actually see how this could be solicited as some type of cartoon or something. So I'm just saying it's something that I've been doing a lot of logging of my books today. I haven't really got to go through everything. We've been fortunate enough to actually have a rather nice day of opening up a bunch of books, AOKs, just a lot of people out there being cool people. And I'm still getting into logging everything in. I'm kind of OCD in certain regards that I will not read my stuff unless I actually log everything in first. So that's what I'm doing still. I'm still logging in all my stuff. And even I only just actually logged in the new slabs that I got, which were, yeah, it was this Venom. So we just got this from our signing event Kai and I went to. Now, Kai and I went to this signing event way back on January the 24th. So this just came in 3 days ago? Maybe 2 days ago. No, it actually came in 3 days ago, but we didn't open it until the other day. And the Silver Surfer Black 125. All right, but this is also at the last page is the cameo appearance of Null. So I mean, I love the Silver Surfer Black series. I really love this Fantastic Four reflectant cover. And the fact that, Kai and I got to go to the signing event, and that was where we got the Thor, and well, this one got signed there. Oh yeah, this got signed there. Oh no, actually no, this is just Scan. So this is when I met Scan over at Comic, or when Kai and I met Scan at the Comic Con, LA Comic Con. This is that Frankie's exclusive. I forgot I even had this thing. Shows you how much of a space I am. But yeah, so yeah, it was just. Oh wait, cheers. Some of the things I want to bring up, that, and like I stated, Bob Sally's book, Broken Gargoyles, is just put on the list yesterday, if my understanding is correct, as far as the Diamond Code is concerned. If you want a quick synopsis, basically it's almost like a diesel punk type story, 1925, of two post-World War I vets that are finding it difficult to assimilate into society. So also they seemingly are having a little issues with their PTSD. It's a great story, not only reflecting of a time, but it's, if you draw a correlation, you can really see how in many regards that's how, unfortunately, the treatment of some of our present day vets are done. And it's a great story in the sense that it touches on these things without necessarily directly touching on these things. And when you draw these correlations that are easy to be made within the first few pages of the book, it hits you pretty hard. I end up doing a little research, and I end up finding out some wonderful things, things like a sculptor, I believe her name is Anna, that decided that after World War I, she wanted to go ahead and help out vets. And she decided to start making these prosthetics and, little masks and stuff that can go ahead and kind of just latch onto people's face, things like that. So they can better be accepted by society. So what I really dig about the story is many times is I think if you go back and look at a lot of the artist alleys that we do, is we meaning Kai and I, try to find things that really touch more than just a story. We try to find things that have multi-dimensional meanings, and it's kind of an onion. So when you open it up, you can sit there and appreciate really what I believe a lot of times these artists and creators are trying to convey. So this definitely exemplifies one of those stories. I really look forward to speaking with Bob. This should be, we've been talking back and forth a little bit, and I know that he's in the midst of right now in a move. So it's going to be rather interesting how he's going to be able to, how should I say, facilitate us in that midst, because there is going to be a moving van at his fucking door when we're doing this. So it's going to be rather interesting. I do look forward to the interview, and I'm really grateful that he's taken time for Kai and I to give us his time to talk about his book. That is, I have to do the research again. I believe it's going to end up coming out at the end of July. I want to say the end of July. I'm wrong. July is being skipped. It should be in August. Everything is coming out in the month of 8, as far as all new solicits through Diamond, that my understanding is concerned. So all your stuff is being pushed back a month, and all the new ones will be going in on August, and then they'll do this dovetailing, over layering of stuff, where it will get heavy in a couple of months. July, August will be end of July throughout August and into probably the first week of September. Should be rather heavy. Save your money now. I know it's light. There's not a whole lot being hit with you. And there might even be some disruptions with this whole new system with DCBS and everything. I doubt it, because I just know from personal experience that they're relatively on the button with what they need to do. And I think if it's only a matter of scaling up at this capacity, because it's not that big of a scale up, I believe, especially in accordance to what is being released in the next month, I think that they will be able to handle it. We will see. But it's going to be rather interesting, like I said, how I started this whole show. I'm getting close. I'm getting ready. I'm almost getting done. Like I said last week, I think we all got a little too hammered. And that was it's one of the reasons why some of the people I'm glad didn't show. Nothing against them. I just got a little too socially happy last week. to put it diplomatically. I wanted again point this slab out here. If you watched earlier, Kai and I ended up doing unboxing, and it was from Michael and Riley of Downright Nerdy Podcast. We asked of you to go check them out. If you like what they do, we ask you go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, give them a comment, tell them we sent them. Yeah. And you guys, thank you so much. Kai and I, we're really grateful. This is so cool. I mean, I was looking at it, and I don't get why it was a 9.0. There's one corner that you can see these little multiple breaks. And if it's just one corner that's all the way to the 9.0, that's weird. Now, I looked at the back, and I was thinking, well, maybe it's all they're saying is if you just give it a cleaning and stuff. So I was thinking, I got a couple books, meaning all the Wolverine stuff that I have. I wanted to get both. There was supposed to be a signing event with both Claremont and, anyways, I'm thinking about actually cracking that thing, cleaning it, and getting Claremont and them, to sign it. That would actually be pretty cool, so it's a consideration. It's, and it would definitely be something I will do if they are at like the LA Comic-Con. I will, Kai will be there with me, and, it'd be nice to be able to experience that with them. I want to bring in someone kind of special to me.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Christy.
How's it going? Sorry, I'm like
How are
late.
you?
I got grabbed by some people like wanting to FaceTime me because they were saying, you got to come to our comic shop. I'm like, all right, comic shop. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, it was not a big deal. I was actually wondering if anyone was going to show. I was getting close to the end of my drink anyways. I just wanted to tell people about a couple books, and last week we got hammered. So I was kind of glad that I only put out so many feelers out there and so many messages.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, but how you doing?
I'm doing good. My Kickstarter is going pretty regularly.
Good.
So that's good. So I'm happy about that. And then now I'm actually in a bit. So I actually had somebody that had canceled their pledge and I didn't realize it. And then they came back and pledged again. So I'm like happy. So, and then one of my other friends threw down a pledge too. So I'm like, yeah.
Damn. There you
Actually,
go.
I'll use this as a cheap plug because I want to go and do that. Is it? Am I drinking? No, I just got on, man. I kind of am sort of limited in drinking, guys, because I would love to drink, and normally I can to a point, but they did pancreatic surgery on me, so I'm sort of limited on that. But yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely recommended that you take a lot of consideration of your moderation.
yeah, yeah. But here I have something extra. Go extra here. This is my cheap plug because this past week has been crazy for Kickstarters too.
Do it.
That's my thing.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. Call me and get her on the panel too, right?
Check this out.
Mia's actually, she did a cartoon. She actually illustrated one of the cards too in the deck.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. So if you guys back the deck and it passes, you will get like, and if you guys want the deck and I make goal, which is 5,500. And if you go beyond that, you'll get the pins too. Cause I made these big booby pins.
There you go, people.
Yeah.
Check that out. Even if you have to leave right now or, copy, paste it, whatever you got to do. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I was talking to Rod and he was both happy and a little nervous about the fact that you're going to be on the show.
I mean, I don't know why he's nervous. I mean, I'm cool as hell. Like, I mean, you know me, like I haven't been a bitch to anybody. I mean,
No. That's just Rod's character. He just gets nervous, and it's more of an anxious excitement than it is, anything else. I know Rod, and he's just
yeah. No, I mean, I hope I didn't mean it that way. I was like, oh shit, I hope he didn't think like it was going to be this way or that way.
No, not at all. No, he's really excited, and I've noticed there's a few people because they're seeing you on a regular basis that were, I should say, initially taken back by you and had no idea what to make of you. And then as they've seen, after 2 or 3, I would say, they started getting used to you. And then it wasn't until around the 4th or 5th that you're like, you know what? This person is strong. I respect how this person is. Because, and I don't need to necessarily name names. They know who they are, but there's some people that are like, yeah, you know what? We dig. Don't ever lose Christy. We dig Christy. She's a perfect part of your show. And I'm like, yeah, no, she ain't going nowhere.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just been fun. Like I've just been doing this. I've been kind of like, oh, unstoppable cock block. Christy is the greatest. Thanks, dude. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's just like Mia's great too. She's talented. She's funny as fuck, and she's also she and I we share that same sort of like semi ratchet humor, making fun of girls that are assholes. Mia's great. I love her attitude. Like Mia's just always, and she's one of the nicest people I've ever met too. That's the funny part about Mia. It's like when you draw angry, mean comics, sometimes they think, oh, you're really angry. Like I remember going to like one signing. And one of the managers there was really surprised at how nice I was because how raw demon bitch is. But it's like, it's about girls I fucking can't stand because they're assholes. Like the thing for me to actually draw that, you would have to be a real asshole to me. That's the thing. So it's like, don't be an asshole.
Exactly. Well, hey, and then actually, to prove a small example and point is when Mia had just had issue 2 of The Fuck in her hands. She said, hey, look, I not only have this book in my hands, but I just got in a couple of stickers. I just got in some magnets. Where are you at? Mm-hmm. What do you mean, where am I at? You're not going to bring it to me. She's like, well, what do you mean? It depends on where you at. So I told her, I go, well, I'm basically located here. Okay, I'll be there in a half hour.
That's really cool of her to do, man. Sometimes you got to be there with your fans,
I was like, oh, wow. Are you kidding me? that was that was like going way beyond, you know what I mean? And you know, it's one thing to say, hey, you know, I'll try to do what I can, but it's another thing to go, look, I'm doing everything I can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think just people have been just kind of like, I think people kind of are taken aback by facade and all that, but really, you don't need to have a facade and all that. But you know, if you just want to feel like you want to do something nice, I know sometimes there's like a lot of artists and creators, they complain about getting fucked over, and I've had certainly been in that boat before. But just sometimes don't be afraid to do something nice, and even if that person does fuck you over, I mean, first of all, you learn like kind of a nuanced thing of like who is not trustworthy. Unfortunately, you have to learn by just example. And B, just sometimes like even if that person doesn't return the thing that you have, and I'm not saying don't go for justice, definitely do, but you get it back somehow. You know, you do, you really do. Like all the times I've been hurt and fucked over, I'm getting it back in a good way. Like, you know, because I don't do stupid shit to people. That's the thing. I don't find that justification for it personally.
Well, and I find the trade-off is you end up developing a decent reputation. You know what I mean? So even if you get fucked over and you're still doing the right thing, you still develop the right reputation, which is, you know, that's what carries you in, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Those 3 laws that you guys need? It would always be on time, always do good work, and don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
And as long as you do those 2, right? If you, as long as you can do those 2, you usually can make it. You know what I mean? So 1 degree or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like, you know, you just can't be. I mean, the thing is that I think what's the better thing is don't get bitter, but you can get tougher. Like, I would say I'm very different than I was 5 years ago. You know, now it's like I've got no point with internet bullshit. Like, I just start laughing at people now because it's like, all right, you're just trying to pull my chain. And then sometimes I just feel compelled to fuck with them right back. Like, remember I told you about that fucking dick pic I got one time? That was ridiculous. Right. Like, I know that I'm going to have a successful Kickstarter when some dumbass like sends me his dick, because it's like, now I can just make fun of him publicly because fuck you. Like, you sent me your dick pic. And again, it'd be one thing if like somebody, if you worked up to it and you did the thing and okay, that's not bad. But when you just pop up a dick pic to me and I'm like, I didn't even ask for this. What the hell? I have to make fun of it. So like this one guy, like I got a premature dick pic. So I'm like, fine. And like, it's so hilarious because so many women have seen his dick now that it's like, it's funny because like when that dude drops trow in front of some young lady, she's going to say, oh, you're Chernobyl dick. Because like I made fun of it. Like I censored it because you obviously can't put naked dicks up on Facebook without getting banned.
Right.
In one of the humor groups, I had to censor out his name and then I censored out the penis, but I didn't censor out like what our conversation was. And then a lot of the women are coming up to me and said, okay, I got to know what this looks like. I said, it's Chernobyl dick. You don't want to look at it. And they're like, no. And they actually asked me, I want to see dick starter. He was confused. He certainly was. I mean, I guess he put it up there. And the first words out of my mouth, which I had typed in front of him, was, that looks malformed. Are you okay? Like, really, is there something wrong with you? And then he deleted it. But I screenshot it. But I sent them a picture of the bare dick, you know, not his name, to other women, and they were like, "Oh my god, what the fuck!" But I ended up having to send it to so many other women and men, mostly women, because they just wanted to know for curiosity's sake how fucked up it was. They looked at that and they were like going, "Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with him?"
Poor guy. Oh my god!
Next time, like if you drop trout with a young lady, somebody's gonna recognize it.
That was which I couldn't even. Oh wow!
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's just with some shit. I just don't understand that. Like, it's like people have said, I don't get it. Why does the guys do that? Are they this? I said, no, dude. It's just like a flasher. You know, back in the day when a person would indecently expose themselves, they're like that. They're either looking for you to get pissed, hit them up on it, or run away. But I didn't do either of those things. I just said, that looks malformed. And then he deleted it right away after I said that. And he says, I'm sorry, I sent that by accident.
Yeah, not the reaction I'm sure he was expecting.
Yeah, he's like, I sorry, I sent that by accident. What do you mean by what's wrong? I mean, I think he expected me to cuss him out or something, or hit him up, or like start lecturing him on how wrong it was. And all I just said was like, that looks really malformed. Like seriously, when he first showed it to me, I thought he had penile cancer. Like some of the pictures that I see of some dudes having advanced penile cancer, and they weren't dick pics. Like they weren't. It was like medical pictures because I'm a gross fuck sometimes. So I said, the first thing I thought was like, does he have penile cancer? Because that looks like him. It was the ugliest fucking penis I'd ever seen. It was just like it was like he slammed the tip in the door or something too.
Oh wow.
I don't dick shame, but I mean, damn, if you gotta like fucking send me something unsolicited, I'm definitely gonna dick shame you. I mean, it's like I didn't ask for it. Like, why the fuck are you asking me about this shit? Why are you just showing it to me? I don't want to fucking. I never asked you to drop trow and show me, man.
Oh my god. I don't even know where to go.
I mean, look, I know you have a daughter. You should just tell her, like, if a dude sends you, because at some point it probably will. Unfortunately, that's what she has to face in her life. Just act kind of like matter of fact. Like, if the first word out of your mouth is like, does that look fucking malformed? That's a guaranteed thing for the dude to delete the picture.
Sure. I'll definitely pass on the knowledge.
I mean, hey, like, as I said, like with women, it's like Christy is going in. You should immortalize it in future work. Christy is going in, says unstoppable cock blocka. Oh, of course, man. I just fucking like I act in ways that people don't like really predict. Well, they should, because it's the only logical progression. But sometimes they're so caught up in their own bullshit that they go like, oh well, she's not going to say that. Oh, she did. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking did it, dude. What are you going to say about it?
Yeah, Gray Man's rather taken back. Yeah, he's liking that.
It really looks like it. And then I guess in England they call like a person a dickhead, but they call it bell end. So somebody said, oh, it's bell.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, John's Comics with Kids. We were just talking about cock earlier. And hey, superhero, about cock. I just had to talk about a fucking dick pic I got one time and how that guy like got schooled a little bit.
Oh man, at no point. I mean, that's is never is there a conversation with you that ever can be considered boring ever.
I think it's like the reason why shit happens to me is that I can make fun of it. That's the thing. Some people are like, remind me never to make you mad because of the cartoons. It's like, why'd you draw this cartoon? I said, oh, some bitch pissed me off. She did this shitty thing and she's an asshole. And I go on this laundry list of why this person's terrible. And they go like, and I remember Lonnie Millsap, he just said, remind me never to make you mad. Where do we go from here? Yo, cock. You can go to my Kickstarter, guys. It's kind of
there you go.
Yeah, let me put it up here again. And actually,
yeah, do that again.
You just love the fucking like dick jokes and stuff. It's great.
Oh my god. I was actually even considering tonight not even doing this. I am so glad that I did.
Yeah, I just got on like a little bit later or something. I apologize.
No, don't apologize. I'm glad that you did. Even for the few minutes that we're on or whatever. I mean, even beforehand, I was thinking, it was good that I actually did this. I've been giving myself excuses not to want to jump on, and I finally got to do a lot of cleanup in the backyard. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm going to take off a lot more because I took off a lot of time this week. Mark, Mark and Powell. Mark reached out to me and said, hey, I really didn't scrutinize what he sent me, but he said, hey, look, we found a good story. We want to do another thespian theater. So I'm like, cool. What I like about them is it doesn't require a whole lot of me. It's them. You know what I mean? I really let them just do their thing. And I enjoy the show. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take, so far, I've done pretty good. I'll take most of this week off. I'm going to take most of probably next week off. I haven't got to talk to you about this yet, but one of the people that we've been talking to is this guy named Kitsune. He calls himself Kitsune.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kid City Windsor, right? Yeah, I know him.
correct.
He's cool.
So
Yeah.
we've been talking to him, and I guess his Kickstarter has been fulfilled, but right now he's doing a GoFundMe for his equipment.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he's got he has a form of, like, I think it's Duchenne's multiple sclerosis. Duchenne's Duchenne bar. I know the first word is Duchenne, but it's a form of multiple sclerosis that he has. So yeah, that guy. You know, if everybody bitches like how they can't do shit, like you got to look at that guy because he's like bedridden. He's got a
You know, and I didn't even want to bring all that up because I didn't even want to come across to people like that yet. What I wanted to do is I just want to quickly touch on the fact that he has a GoFundMe. And yeah, now that you already said it, I'm not going to touch a lot on it. What I'm going to say is this is going to be the first Artist Alley that I think we need to record so we can throw some closed caption there for him. You know what I mean? He's developed his own apparatus for speaking for us.
oh
And he's
cool.
been doing, yeah, he's been doing all this stuff for us. And Kai and I got to talk to him the other night. I'm getting goosebumps again. And he's been doing all this stuff. So we're trying to, I want to do this for him. And then after that, you know, I don't know where to go in the sense that I haven't really tried to plan anything. And I'm really getting burnt, not necessarily saying burned out. I don't want to do it again, meaning it's been taking a lot out of me doing all this. You know what I mean? So, and I want to get to this yard. I promised these guys that I'd get this stuff done by July 4th because I would love to be able to have a party here sometime during or right after that. You know what I mean? So something's got to give.
Yeah, actually, I want to put a funny story to this, even though it's not a very funny situation. But one of my buddies, Tony, you met Tony, right? The one that went out with that horrible first date, and everything in context, it was just kind of funny, but it was really fucked up. It's the woman that swears. Yes, Slab Dragon, how's it going? I'm also running a Kickstarter. I swear a lot in that too. You should check it out. I put up the link just now about like the fucking dick pic story. You'll love that too. So what ended up happening is that, Tony, he does welding and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was telling me he went into a construction forum, and you know how, like, for the rioters, these people were like leaving pallets of bricks and shit out for them to throw at the cops and cause problems, right?
Yeah.
Well, the construction guys love that shit because they found like these random pallets of bricks, so they just took them home and built their fire pits with that. It's like, shit, I built my own deck for free.
I got me my own custom pizza oven right in the backyard. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, right? It's like, I just found all these bricks lying around. Fuck it. Oh, somebody said, the Mastodon says, I love you, Christy. It's like, oh, I love you too, the Mastodon. Yeah, you guys should. I wrote more there.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody in this chat right now, I want to give a shout out to you guys. You know, Mastodon, T-Gun, TJ, John, you guys are the best. Cockblocker, hey, matter of fact, Marquis, and you don't know this yet, I don't think, Christy. Marquis, he's a talented individual. And after not even, unfortunately, getting to have the privilege to be able to directly speak with him, which I hope to do so one day, please reach out to me, dude, if you ever want to jump on here. I just didn't want to throw anything out to anybody and feel like they're obligated to do anything. Gray Man,
cool,
kind of crazy. But what I want to say about Marquis is Dollar Bin is he's very talented as a musician. He's doing his own self productions of. I don't even want to classify it because it definitely has its own feel. It definitely has it has a flavor of a modern day hip hoppy rap style. But there's more to it than just that. But he also wrote a piece that he asked of me to go ahead and forward to Mia. And that's one of the things I wanted to say is, one of the privileges that I had being on this show with my son is the fact that we've been able to make connections with people, forward information of people, or even in the case of this, music. Or now in the case of what I am telling you, check out Marquis stuff. Check out Unstoppable stuff. If you can, go check them out. Hit them up for some music. And yeah, you know what? It's a privilege to be able to hang out with you guys and be able to meet all these dynamic forms of artists and creators. And thank you. I appreciate this. This is a fucking rad journey. So cheers.
Cheers, right? I have water. I gotta.
Perfect.
Yeah, my pancreas is like I can drink a little bit, but it's like sometimes it's just it kind of feels sensitive. I'm like, probably don't want to do it today.
I totally get it.
Hey, Old Wolf, Dollar, Gray Man, what's up, guys? Yeah, so it's like, yeah, so like the saga of Dick that started off as how I went on there, and then now it's like this whole other thing. But yeah, like I think I'm heading over to the Atomic Basement tomorrow to meet up and say hello.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
went there the other day,
oh yeah, yeah, because I think
and
they were curbside, right?
well, no. They allow you to come on in. We asked. I mean, when I say we, he was asking, and that's why I was saying I was actually there trying to move a couple of things around and help him get organized because Caden was there. Or Jaden, help me out. No,
Kaden, she was
Caden.
Jalisco, right?
Right. Correct. Yeah, she was there with her. I believe that was her artist friend.
Amanda, I think Amanda does the artwork. Excuse me. Whew, excuse me.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. So they were there, and I think he was still trying to figure out where to put people, and he put them in front of the door, which really worked out real nice.
Yeah.
People were coming in, and he was just he didn't even get his books until I think late in the day for that week. So even when I was there, they weren't even there yet.
Yeah.
So they were still cleaning up outside. That was one of the things I seen is, some of the people as I was still driving into that town were still cleaning up and removing graffiti, which was nice because some of the people that were helping were just volunteers.
Yeah. Well,
Really
a lot of
fucking
people
cool.
have been kind to do that, and unfortunately, a lot of the people that did do a lot of that fucking shit, the damage that is, and the stealing, a lot of them were from out of town. So they were not in town at all. So that sucks.
They were also volunteers.
Well, yeah, there's that. Like they had random pallets of fucking bricks everywhere that so they could go and do fucking stupid shit to draw the cops to the protesters. That's a whole other story. I know everybody's probably heard that,
I
but
know.
my buddy Lawrence is actually was in the thick of it. He wasn't protesting, but he was working in that area in Hollywood, and he saw like how they moved around because he does security, so he like would see it on the cameras because they're watching a building, so they have to look at the perimeter of the building. So he's out manning the cameras, and he would see shit like that, like they'd start shit like about a street or two down from the actual protesters, and then they draw the cops after they did their stupid shit and draw them in hot to the protesters. So and then they'd hide amongst the protesters, and then the protesters would get the brunt of all the fucking police getting hot, So
Did you see David Pepos's post about I think it was his like cousin or something like that, which is a reporter.
Oh shit.
And he got shot in the neck with a rubber bullet, and he was wearing all his reporter gear. He right here in Long Beach got shot, and it was like, wow. I mean, you can see the damage. He's wearing his reporter.
Is he okay?
That I know of, yeah. The picture was taken. I would look like to me while he was being discharged out of a hospital. That was the look that I was getting from the picture that I saw.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it's not good that he got hurt, but I'm glad he didn't fucked up beyond belief. But I've heard of that. It's kind of really fucked up in a lot of ways. I didn't see that. I guess Facebook suppressed that. I have no idea because you know how Facebook has an algorithm. But sorry to hear that about his fucking cousin. That sucks.
Well, especially when I'm not saying peaceful protests. I'm not saying what I'm saying is when we all know that there are certain things, meaning press that are supposed to be essentially just reporters, you know what I mean, and they're not supposed to be involved one way or another. So when you start seeing the observation eye, the observer's eyes being poked out, then you start having to question certain things, if that makes sense.
It was weird too because like there's been many instances of like reporters getting like hurt by cops or by rioters and looters too. At first they were saying protesters, but I think as it turned out, it was mostly the rioters and looters that were doing all the stupid, crazy shit, So it was like, I think probably the reporters got hit by the line of fire because those assholes don't care. So I've
I would
seen
imagine.
instances of that, like getting hit and arrested by the cops and being assaulted by the looters and rioters too. So, but I'm glad because some of the protesters fought back. Actually, a few of them like tackled a looter and fucking brought him to the cops. Like, fuck you. Like, we're done with
I've
fucking.
seen a few of those. Yeah, I've seen a few citizen arrests that were actually posted on, on a few sites that where people have taken upon themselves to stop looting and then take them, take them
Yeah,
to
that's good.
justice. Wow, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I like that because they should beat I mean, that's just me, but it's like I was getting tired of like, because I had some friends in the protests and they could have gotten hurt and killed like that because of these assholes. Like,
Right.
there's that shit there too. And yeah, but I mean, we heard about Eddie's store, Eddie D'Angelini, his store got hit and looted. Golden Apple, I heard, has a gate, so it wasn't so bad, but they had definitely had vandalism.
They
So
had damage to the window and some just on the inside right there, stuff right there was thrashed and taken, but yeah.
yeah, but like overall, it like the damage wasn't like it was pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like equating one, but at least it might have been worse if they didn't have those gates. But
Well, they pulled down their GoFundMe today because they've actually already met the amount of money that would be required to go ahead and fix their stuff. So I during their auction today, I had was speaking to Ryan, well, both Ryans that were actually at the store at the time, and they had gave me live update that they are now fully funded for that for their repairs.
yeah.
So
What
it's a
about
matter of cleanup.
yeah? Like what about Heidi Hose?
They are. I can't remember the gentleman's. The wife's name. Kristen. She was on today, and that kind of surprised me. So he and her were both on this morning. That I saw a video that he had posted, and to bring everyone up to date. I unfortunately, every time I try to watch it, I got caught up in stuff, and I didn't even get to see what they made mention of. I know they were saying. I caught the part that said thank you. I caught the part that they're saying that their GoFundMe is running well, and that's all I caught.
I think like a few days into it, they were at least halfway towards their goal, which is really good. So like they were asking about 44K, and now they're doing 21K. So it's not bad, I mean, I'm sure it's gotten a lot more because I've shared it. Some of my other friends who aren't even in the area have shared it. Like my friend, Rose, she's in New York, but she shared it. It's like these people need a GoFundMe too. So it was good. Like the GoFundMe is good. Like, that poor guy in Minnesota, he was a fireman and he invested all his life savings in that bar, and then COVID shut it down for the while. He was getting ready to open back up and the fucking looters trashed it, which was really fucked up. And the poor guy was heartbroken. And I wanted to donate, but I found out that because I went to his GoFundMe and it turned out he asked for 100K, but he got over 600K. I said, this
wow.
Right. Yeah, 611K. So you know what? He's got more than enough money to start it up. I was really happy for him. I mean, that's got to be heartbreaking. You invest everything, you want to make the money back, and then that shit happens, and then some assholes trash it. It's like it makes you want to take a tire iron to them. I mean, I know that's awful, but
and what people don't understand is even like what you pointed out, even though he had received, let's say in this case, 6 times more than what he initially was asking for, that still doesn't pay for the things that he had to sacrifice to even get to where he was. He'll never get some of those things back, or whatever it took for him to get there initially and lose everything. Yeah, the money's nice, but he'll never, there was things that I'm sure he had to sacrifice that he'll never get back. So,
but I mean, at least like he's not so flat broke that he has nothing. So, I mean, yeah, right. It's like replace everything. Like the GoFundMe's won't replace everything, but they'll help mitigate or at least cover the cost to get back to better, which I'm glad. I mean, it pissed me off personally because I mean, I know there are some people that said, oh yeah, well this is it. I'm like, yeah, but these people have nothing to do with your shit. So like enough, I mean, I understand it's something worth to be rageful over. It's worth to be really upset. It is upsetting. And that's like, you can't, talk that away. That's not something, but you don't get to fucking smash up somebody's place that they worked hard for.
And you're risking their life.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to you. So like, why the fuck are you bothering them?
Ryan Leibowitz of Golden Apple, he was on a live stream and like an hour or so before that place was getting smashed up. So there, people were actually protesting around him and all that as things were going on. And if you go back and you look at that live feed, I can't remember what I was watching, but if you go back and you look at that, you can see him every once in a while, kind of looking over, like what the hell's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would be rather nerve wracking when you, again, you hire, again, us here in LA, we're so diverse. We really are.
Yeah.
You walk to the next house and you're seeing someone of some, it's just, so the fact that that was happening at that time, you know what I mean? It was just nerve wracking for him and all the other people that were there at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because like I sort of felt some of that tension, and it's going to be kind of funny because where I am, it's pretty safe. But like when it was curfew from 5 to 6, like five
Hmm.
or six, and that kind of screwed with my head a little bit. Even though we're in my area, they didn't go up here because like where I'm at, like there'd be plenty of people that will shoot their ass if they bother them. So, I mean, they're not. I mean, where I live, it's very safe. It's very cool. Like people leave each other alone, or they're friendly enough. The neighborhood's nice, but it's like full of people that like you fuck with them, they're gonna shoot you. And I'm just like, as messed up as that may sound, it's like at least I'm glad like they're very protective of that. So they make good neighbors on that.
As I was going down Third Street in Long Beach, leaving the basement,
Mhm.
there were 2 blocks where I had seen 2 posted National Guard.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
that kind of tripped me out.
Yeah, like I was driving around downtown, not in the main area, the hot spots of downtown, like arts or fashion or Little Tokyo, that area. I wasn't there, but I was in another part of downtown LA, which wasn't so crowded or anything. I was at a store, but I had to get back on the 110 North, and I was driving, and I just stopped and I drove by like the LA Convention Center. You know, when you go in the back of it, you can
Yeah,
where you drive in the back to park in the convention center.
yeah,
There's National
yeah.
Guard
Well, that's a
station there.
scary area.
Yeah, like that area was like, oh shit, there's some National Guard there. I'm like, oh fuck. But I was already turning the opposite way, but I just observed it because like around the Staples Center, they were around there too. So I think like right now, I think the National Guard is stationed there right now.
Hmm.
I don't know where they're at. But yeah.
I don't know either. You know, what I mean, it's just seeing the military just kind of puts me on a little edge.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but they're just there. I think it's just more of a presence now than anything, and they're probably getting intel on the ground about who organized this shit, to hurt people. The ones to that hurt people, not necessarily the protests, just the ones that hurt people because it was causing
Right.
some mayhem across the country. So now it's weird because I lived through these LA riots. I was not here for the last one. So that's kind of crazy. Like since I live kind of in the area, now I know where it kind of happened. Like because Lawrence, my buddy, was telling me he was here. He's been in Angelino all his life. And
Yeah,
he
me
was
too.
telling yeah, so he was telling me like, his side because he's black. So he's telling me how the riots were on his end, and he was explaining it. And it's like it was here and here and here. And now that I kind of live near these areas, it's like, oh, like I see where they're talking about where it's at. So when people ask me like where they're at, I said, well, it's mostly downtown in these areas in downtown LA, but there's other parts. It might be considered downtown LA, but the one it's more in West Hollywood where it was up and down Melrose and Sunset that were the other hot spots.
What I remember is my parents tell me about in '69 there were some issues. In '72 there were issues.
Watch
In
riots, right?
'70, just yeah, just all. I'm just basically naming dates and just issues as opposed to, I guess, really identifying them to be, I guess, diplomatic.
Right.
But '77, we had issues during that whole gas crunch and water issue. You know, it caused a lot of tension amongst everyone during that time too.
Yeah.
'80, during some financial times, there was some serious social issues going on in there.
Mhm.
um, '89, '92, if everyone
92
remembers
was
what
the
happened.
actual riots, yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you remember, there was a riots that kind of happened here for a little while during both I don't want to say the person's name, but it was a famous football player. And then after the verdict was read, there was also riots right after that. And then so I've lived through a lot of fucking riots, and I've I've seen a lot of shit, man.
Yeah,
I
right.
wanted to stop, man. I really do. I thought it would be smart enough at this point. I really thought it would be done.
Well, it's like also weird because in LA, like it's close, but it's not. It depends where you are. Like for me,
Right.
it was like one of the areas in downtown is like 20 minutes away from where I live, but it's not really close to me. You know what I mean? Because I live in a
Right.
completely different neighborhood. And it's kind of weird because it's like, yeah, there's some places that are boarded up right now and north of me, but nothing ever touches them. But we were still under that curfew. But it was weird because it was like, I don't think it would even go back up into that town where I'm at. But where I lived either, I was just kind of laughing because, like, where I live has a lot of Armenians and they're really cool. Don't get me wrong, they're really cool, but there is another side of Armenian neighborhoods, like they have gangs. Now they're very low key. Like it's not like Crips and Bloods where they're trying to get turf and shit and there's open war. They're very much like, this is around their community and family. And, Armenians are basically a culture where they've been fucked with all their lives. Like I've been told the direct allegory by another person is Israelis. You have a culture that's been fucked with a lot through centuries. They're gonna develop ways to survive. And one of them said, "Yeah, the Armenians will shoot," you know, because it's like the gangs are there, but they're very low key. Like I don't see any gang activity, but I don't look for it. But I know they exist. I mean, it's kind of underground, but they're there, but they don't fucking screw with you. Just don't get in their business. Plus, they're not really doing anything shady right in front of you anyway that you would get involved in, as far as you would know. But other than that, they're very. But like the thing is, they're nice neighbors and everything. But yeah, you just don't want to be. I was pretty safe where I was at. I was very sure that if shit went down, I would be inside and my neighbors would deal with it. So, but I mean, even then, it was like super quiet. Like any sirens we would hear would be occasional fire engines. But where I live, like there's a border in between LA proper and where I live, and that's where the police station is. So I think they were all running out there to kind of fortify LAPD, the rest of the
Right.
LAPD. So I'm guessing, but yeah, it wasn't like we heard the helicopters, but that was more over DTLA than anything else. But
Do me a favor and drop your link one more time, and at the same time, tell us where you're at on your Kickstarter as far as what your goal is and where you're at on your goal.
well, right now I am at. Hold on, it's taking forever. Okay, so I'm at 2,767 out of 5,500, and I've got 18 more days to go, so I'm roughly about 50%. How long does it take me to do a demon bitch strip, Christy? Well, I didn't see that. I'm sorry. I should have answered that earlier. Uh, it usually takes me about like a few hours, if that. I'm actually overestimating, probably an hour. Like I just like wait till I get inspired and then I do it. But it's really fun.
Hey, Unstoppable, if you actually really want to see a cool coming interview upcoming, she will be on Rod the Rinkit's channel. Is that this Sunday?
This Sunday, yeah. And then I'm actually doing another interview. I just got asked to do it on, let's see. I got another interview with Lady Geek Live with Meredith Logren. So that's another one too, and I'll put that up there as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
Jester Rican, I'll be interviewing with him. Rod the Rican, sorry, but I think his
yeah.
channel's called Just a Rican, right? I'm trying to
That's
remember.
the name of his channel. Yeah, Just the Rican
Yeah,
and his comics. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Rod's pretty cool. So it's like I look forward to talking with him personally and doing the thing. And then that later on that same day on this Sunday, I'll be working. I'll be on Michelle Meredith. Sorry, Meredith Lothran's. I just met her a little while ago, so I'm like getting used to names. I'm sometimes terrible about that.
You're going to be busy again this weekend. Wow, it wasn't enough for you to do a whole week and then do 3 shows last week with me, but you had to do a whole week and then now do 3 shows this weekend too?
It's kind of one of those things like I got to just do the Kickstarter, man, and get in the mode of it and just put it out there, like put out my work. Because I mean, there's there it's very quiet, and I know some people get stir crazy, and I think partially what happened this past week, I think people have been cooped up with little else to really expend that energy. So I think that's why it kind of got as crazy as it did too. I mean, a lot of people were kind of saying that's kind of a factor too. I mean, it was a serious issue, don't get me wrong, it's a very
Hmm.
serious issue. It was a messed up issue, and definitely there was a right to say something about it and protest, but I think why sometimes part of it got nuts was that people were all cooped up because of the COVID-19.
Right.
So I think everybody is running, like this past week was us recovering from our tempers flaring from the week prior. And even then, there still was a lot of regret, pissed offness and shit.
No, I agree. It was a snowball effect of one thing leading into the other, and it's just kind of turning into just now to go the opposite way, adding a lot of fuel onto a fire of anger. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I get what you mean because I agree. That's what it was when people were finally let out and just pent from being pent up. They kind of exploded.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like right now, and then now everybody's worrying back on it. But ironically, it was weird during the riots. This article got released where actually, you know how Spain and Italy were hit the worst by the COVID-19?
Hmm.
They actually are finding this new strain to be very weak. So that's actually encouraging to hear. So I know
Definitely.
people are worried about reinfection. It's like, well, right now, how it is, at least right now, we know it'll mutate to something weaker. So even if we do have infections, it's not going to be as big of a worry, it looks like. So again, I'm not trying to say I'm a scientist, but I have seen that.
No, I like, you know what? I think that's a great place to leave it. We'll leave it on an optimistic note at this point, as far as information is concerned that we know of. As far as any new strain that may be coming, it's coming weaker. So let's look at that, and then we'll call that a night. This is the end as we end him. A drink ends, we end. So from us at 1-2 Comic Talk, please visit us tomorrow morning when we have special guest Bob Sally is going to be on with us talking about broken gargoyles. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. From 1-2 Comic Talk. Have a
All
great
right.
night, everybody.
Okay.